This is Learn the Better. I'm Garrett,
And this is Neville.
and today we're talking about Halo 2.
Wow, 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 wow. Ew.
And you can follow
Cool
us
one,
on
y'all.
YouTube and Twitter. And if you want ad-free content, premium episodes, or give topic suggestions, head over to the Patreon. Okay, so
You know you want to.
yeah, Halo time. So my experience with Halo 2. I am a 28-year-old man, and I've never played Halo 2 before in my life. But I played it for the first time about like a month ago. We played it campaign on
Yeah.
what was it, heroic level difficulty?
I drug him through heroic difficulty.
Yes,
Yes.
very nice. It was probably, I deeply regret not playing it in the time. Overall, it was just a great game. Like, great first person shooter. There was, little scripted events that were awesome. There were cutscenes that were awesome. The guns, great. I literally can't think of anything bad to say about it. It was a first person shooter, and they even worked in character development for multiple characters. The handling was great, the mechanics were easy and just super like simple and fluid, no clunkiness at all. Felt great.
Well, I can't blame you for not playing it at the time. You're probably like 5 or 6 years old when it came out.
Oh, really?
Um,
Oh, that
Trying
explains
to do
it.
the math here, and I'm like, I don't think your parents let you play this game for a good reason, I'm sure.
Definitely not. I wasn't even allowed to watch Harry Potter because of witchcraft.
Uh,
So, yeah, that's definitely what happened.
so you're giving away our location. Stop. We still believe in
Salem.
witches around these parts.
Salem, Massachusetts.
if they drown, they're witches. If they don't drown, they're witches. Yeah. Well, me being probably 2 or 3 years older than you, I was able to get this game. I actually played Halo 1 whenever it was used. I bought
Played Halo 1 when it came out?
well, it was a used game when I bought it, so it was like a used game dealer, and I was like, what is this? And like my babysitter at the time, he's like, this is it, like this is the Xbox game. Like, you got an Xbox, buy this game, So I got a strong recommendation. I was like, this is kind of revolutionary. But he sucked ass at Halo, so he never introduced me to the multiplayer. So I was like, oh my god, campaigns, this is amazing, And like, I played a lot of PC, but console was kind of new to me. So, but I don't know. Let me keep it brief. The brief summary is love it. Played the fuck out of the multiplayer. This was my childhood game. This is like, I was in it from like the launch. I was like, practically, I think I pre-ordered it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had like the metal box Halo 2 pre-order edition, limited edition. All the extra discs with like the behind the scenes stuff. I watched the E3 trailer, as I was on the hype train, like by the time I finished the campaign, I was on the Halo radar, and I saw the E3 campaign, all the promises that they did. They were like, there's gonna be brutes hijacking you out of a warthog, and I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like, this is it. They've changed gaming, like this was done in games before. Half-Life was doing this type of shit, but for a console, which was like basically the only thing I was able to afford,
Yeah.
like this changed the fucking game. Halo 2 literally like was like leaps and bounds better than any other game. It put Halo 2 multiplayer, or like it put multiplayer on consoles, like, online, like this is like the first real online multiplayer for consoles. This started like a paradigm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I could tell. I mean, this game's old, but it still seems totally great.
Well, it's about the culture. This created a thing, like there was a lot of civilized gaming on the PC, but like Xbox is like literally like the gutter, the worst of the worst. This is where like the Call of Duty trash talking like cesspool started. This is the primordial ooze of the console Modern Warfare lobbies, where it's like after mom, like like screaming into your mic full blast, dude. Like everybody knows those compilations, where it's like my ears are bleeding right now. Like, I wish the game would never end, so you'll have to hear the other team. Like, you know, proximity chat, dude. Garrett, you don't even know. You don't even know. This is about to turn into a multiplayer exclusive review podcast right here. This is the Halo 2 multiplayer podcast. No.
Oh man. Right? Well, my
Like,
experience with multiplayer is pretty limited.
Proximity chat. This is the dirtiest thing. It's the most beautiful, dirtiest thing ever. All right.
Wait, Halo 2 multiplayer is proximity chat?
Yes.
Wow.
You'd be like, yeah, suck it, suck on these. You know, like, you'd just be blowing people's shit up. You know, you'd be blasting a fucking Green Day song over your fucking speakers. You know, like. Like, I don't care about anything. You know, like, it was absolutely cancerous, you know.
Wow.
But it was amazing. It was amazing. I can't express it enough. There was some great cheats, you know. There's some great people cheating out there. There's
cheats.
Amazing exploits. Oh my god.
What kind of cheats?
I don't know, people would like be like hacking into the server and shit and like let me tell you one specific time I laughed my fucking ass off. Okay, big team battle. I think it's 12v12 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 12 people. All right, this is high ranked big team battle. I was like, oh yeah, I'm super good at hiding in the back of our base, defending the flag with a sniper rifle. That's my shit. You know, like I'm level 28. You know, I'm like almost like getting up in the 30s. A big team battle. 30s was good. Like level 50 was like the max. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was like almost no like level 50s. So like level 40 was like, this dude's got like a 5-0 kill death ratio. Don't get near this man. You know, he's lethal. So anyway, I was getting up there. So something happens, queued into a big team battle. Hilarious. Love it. Our whole team's like, we're on a black screen. What the fuck is going on? You know, some of us like, I don't like this, and they quit out. If you quit, you get like penalized, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
More people join in, they quit out, they get penalized. We're still on a black screen. The big team battle match usually lasts like 15 minutes. You got 15 minutes on the timer. Y'all go capture the flag, team deathmatch, whatever the fucking match is, whatever. We find out it's a team deathmatch. We're on a black screen. We're on a black screen for 10, 12, 13, 14 minutes. And we're like, this ain't right. 14 minutes and 30 seconds happen. And then like the game starts like bing, bing, bing. Like we spawn in. All of us are like falling out of the sky into this one spot. And their whole team is like fucking like lasering us, dude, with like guns. You know, it's like a fucking like a kill squad, dude. Like we're just like falling into like crossfire. Like they like loaded in a bunch of like vehicles and shit. Like we were getting just slaughtered. So they basically like team deathmatched us like in like 30 seconds. Like
so they like hacked it somehow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then afterwards they're like, yeah, we did that. Later, guys. You know, like just fucking ultra scumbag shit. Hilarious. Love it. You know, wish I would have done that shit while it was happening, but real story. Real story.
That's very funny.
Their team was running around picking up guns, and they fucking moved our spawn point to one spot, you know?
Wow.
And then they prevented our respawns until they were all ready. Basically wasted all of our time. Yep.
Wow, I didn't know you could do things like that on Xbox.
Well, they obviously had their Xbox hooked up to a PC, and they're like, I know all your IP addresses, you know?
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah. Gotta love it. But the campaign's dope as fuck. 10 out of 10. Love the game.
Well, so didn't they like put a stop to all that at some point?
Yeah, I guess to taper it off. Like those people eventually got banned.
Because I played Halo 3 multiplayer quite a bit, but I never experienced that.
But Halo 3 is on 360.
Yeah.
This is different hardware, different fucking exploits.
Oh, so when the 360 came out, they cracked down on it big time, I guess?
I guess they didn't have as much free reign over the software, you know?
Wow. That's super funny.
Or maybe you didn't play nearly as many games as I did.
Oh, well, that's definitely true, probably.
Because I'm sure there's plenty of exploits. You know, there's a bunch of like just easy like controller exploits where you can like triple wield weapons and like fucking like double shot sniper rifles, you know, like cancel, reload, cancel animation, double shot bullshit, you know, where you're like boom boom with a sniper rifle, like fast and you can, like super accurate, or I don't know, or
Yeah.
like triple shot BR or something where it's like 9 shots instead of 3, you know, like I
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah.
there's silly shit like that,
Okay.
and that, but as far as like blatant hacking is concerned, I think they stopped Halo 3. You know, as far as I remember, Halo
Yeah,
3
I
is a
mean,
completely different game.
man. Well, that sounds like a whole universe of stuff that I never got into.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It gets seedy down at the bottom.
All right, so Halo 2. So, the first thing with Halo 2 is it's pretty story heavy. Like, in the background, it is. It really doesn't give you much during the game. Like, there's a cutscene in between each level, but what's actually being portrayed story wise is there's a lot there.
Yeah.
And to fully
Well,
get it, you really don't get it unless you pay attention and think about it and maybe even read extra stuff.
yeah. It has like galaxy wide implications, like from the get go, you know, and they made that clear as hell in Halo 1. But funny enough, they meant for Halo 1 to be a standalone game. Like there wasn't a Halo 2 planned. You know, they didn't like, oh shit, we're gonna make a trilogy, you know? Like that
Wow.
obviously was like an in like dollar signs and investor eyes, like, y'all are gonna make a trilogy. But that wasn't the game master's idea. You know, they killed Johnson off in the legendary ending, you know? They didn't expect the game to continue, but they're like, we basically printed money, you know, like we made multiplayer gaming on console fun again. So they had to make Halo 2. And they tried to like pretty much end it on the second one. So that's why they're like, it feels like this is like really dense in story because they're like, they were rushed. They meant to make a way longer game than this.
Oh, they were?
Yes. They're
Wow.
always rushed. It's the perpetual gaming story. You know, any game that comes out is like, we had plans on revolutionizing the way games were be conceived for the future, but y'all just keep asking for it.
Well,
You know?
yeah, I mean, I know all games are rushed, but this one didn't feel rushed. This one felt good.
No, yeah. There's a notorious quote from like one of the game directors, like, they had to pry my hands off the keyboard and tell me to ship it. Like they were working down to the last minute to like tie shit up. They're like, oh fuck, we have to put this in disc form tonight. You know, like this has to get out the door right now. Like so like their story had to be like basically butchered down like by half, if not 2/3, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that we get in Halo 3 was meant for Halo 2, and some of the stuff in between was never realized. You know, we're supposed to get like Flood, Juggernauts, and like
Really?
huge overarching stories. Yeah, a bunch of new enemies, you know, like I think I remember hearing like they spent 7 months on that E3 trailer that I showed you with the Johnson and the flying of the Pelicans and like
Yeah.
the brutes hijacking all that shit.
Yeah, I know the trailer.
But spent 7 months or like a couple years on that, and then like I don't know, I might be speaking out of line, but fuck it, let's just keep going.
Okay. Well, the first thing we get in Halo 2 is the cutscene of the Arbiter. Wait a minute. No. Am I thinking of Halo 3?
No, this game picks up right where Halo 2 left off. The Halo explodes, the Covenant come in to look at the explosion, the
Right.
wreckage.
And the Covenant takes the Arbiter and, well, takes the general dude and makes him the Arbiter, which is a negative connotation to be for the Covenant, right?
Well, for the elites, the Arbiter is like an ancient leader, but yeah, it had become a negative connotation as like, you know, some martyr, you know, somebody who's like been exiled and forced into like servitude for the greater good type of bull hockey.
Yeah, yeah. So they essentially take the guy and they're like, all right, we're either going to kill you or we're going to make you the Arbiter, and you're basically going to be our slave forever. This is the prophets talking to the Arbiter.
And what's his name again?
Oh boy. I don't remember his name. His name was like Mace Windu or something like that. Oh, Thel Vodamy.
Yes. Yeah.
Phlebotomy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that happens in Halo 2 is that cutscene. And the second thing that happens is the Armory level, which is just a tutorial level. You wake up and he's like, look up, look left, look right, you know.
Look at the top line. Now look at the bottom line. Now look at the top line again. Now look at the bottom line.
Now look
There
left.
you go.
Now look right. Now let's look left again. All right.
Would you like to inverse your neck muscles? Yeah. When he talks about the quick reload of the shields, which is like basically explaining the mechanic of like why legendary is fucking impossible to beat, because you got a really fragile shield that comes back really fast and absolutely zero health pool. So you literally take probably like a quarter of the damage you were able to before you die.
Right.
So
yeah. So they explain
it's a
that.
completely different game. We're gonna play legendary for Halo 3. I hope you know that.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, they have a more balanced. Remember, I said the game was rushed. So they balanced heroic on Halo 2, but they didn't balance legendary on Halo 2.
Like they made it way too hard.
Yeah, you get shot by an elite 6 times at full health and you're done. And it's like boom, 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 done. Like fucking like as fast as you can blink.
Well, that's how it feels in Halo 3 also.
Oh, like jackal snipers, you know that. We only have to talk about the jackal snipers. Everybody knows the meme.
Well, that's true. Okay, well, let's not worry about Halo 3. So the first actual level in Halo 2 is Kairos Station. And, you know, this level for me was great because first off, it's the first level in Halo 2 and you're really playing around. You realize you can get double needlers, right, in Halo 2. So that is super
basically
amazing.
Instantly they give you double SMGs. They're like,
yeah.
Chief, you're going to need this. And why don't you grab another one on your way out?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
And it's on the fucking cover, dude. Double SMGs. So you're like, wow, 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 wow. You know, like, give me that fucking saucy guitar. You know, it's Steve Vai that did the guitar in this game.
Who's that?
I'm going to let you edit that out. I'm going to let you have the option to edit that out, sir.
Let me just... How do you spell that? VEI? VA?
It'll probably autocorrect you because they're like, fucking idiot. Steve V.
White. Oh, Spinal Tap. White Snake.
Spinal Tap.
Yeah. He was in music group Spinal Tap.
Well, it's the Spinal Tap guy.
Yeah, this is the guy from Spinal Tap. Wow.
It's the Spinal Tap guy.
Such a good movie. Okay. Wow. That is a epiphany for sure. So
you didn't even like in a Master Chief collection. You don't even get any of this fucking shit. You don't get any of this. You don't get any of the fucking intro. Dude.
Yeah.
A lot of the music and the freaking like in the menus, you're punching your fucking wall, dude. You're like, I'm ready. You know, like it was like snorting G Fuel before that was a thing. You know what I'm saying, dude? If we could just get a nice musical composition, we don't need any of these unpleasant surprises.
Oh man. So yeah, you're introduced to all these new mechanics, which, you know, now are commonplace, but at the time must have been amazing. Like dual wielding, you know, all that.
Oh my god. Only since like fucking 007 GoldenEye, you know. You're like, yes, finally. You know.
So
it's a great thing.
So Kyra Station is the third campaign level in Halo 2, taking place in Earth's orbit on the Kairos Station. John 117 and the UNSC Marines fight against boarding Covenant troops accumulating in a battle over a Sangheili guard bomb intended to destroy the station. This is the first level in which the enemies are encountered that you can fight. So yeah, it's great. This one, you're on you're out in space. You're on a big old gunship thing. It's moving around. It's all crazy.
Mac Cannon.
Yeah, it's great.
It's an orbital weapons platform. Garrett, these are common sci-fi tropes.
Oh, giant space guns.
You know, you have an orbital, like it's either like you got point defense shields or lasers, and then you got like fucking like weapons platforms surrounding the planet. You know, you got like an AI down the bottom, like scanning and like coordinating shots. This is a railgun, you know, one of the many technologies that are half fantasy, half reality. We're working on a railgun, you know, but it was originally conceived in science fiction, you know.
Okay.
So, or maybe I've got that in reverse. I don't know anything. This is the make shit up as you go podcast.
Has it not been? So,
Learning bullshit and the other guy.
so that's the first level. Second level is Outskirts. So on this level, this is the one where the map is the trailer map that you showed me, right?
Yeah, for the most part, they kind of play with it.
Yeah, like I think this is the map, but different stuff happens, obviously.
The area with the Scarab towards the end when we get the Goss Warthog for like literally 1 second.
Yeah.
We're like, get on the Goss. Oh, we have to get out now. Like, literally the most like disappointing shit, dude. I'm like, come on. Like, we see a Scarab for like literally 0.2 seconds. It's like moving shit in the environment. Everything's like going crazy. You're like, oh my god, it's epic. And Johnson's on a Pelican. Like, you're getting introduced to the Jackal snipers. They one shot you a couple dozen times. You know, it's a great map. Great map overall.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was good. This is the one where, like, the last half of the level, you're in the subway below, like, and you're on ghosts, you know?
Yeah.
So that was cool.
I don't think so. I think you're confused.
No, I'm looking at it right now.
That's the one when you're chasing the Scarab Outskirts.
Here, I'll send it to you.
Well, what's the timestamp?
Well, I'm following along in a YouTube walkthrough.
Okay. So on the YouTube walkthrough, what's the timestamp?
9:21, and then, well, the whole last half of the video is the subway area.
That's so disappointing. Why would he lie to us like this?
Okay. So, Outskirts is the fourth campaign level of Halo 2. As John 117, you must battle your way through the streets of Old Mombasa, Earth, with Marines to reach the beach. From
Old
there,
Mombasa?
that's what it says. From there,
That's not New Mombasa.
yeah, it's old. I mean, yeah, if you look at the town, it's totally destroyed.
What happened?
Only the palm trees are standing.
Was it the first Covenant War or the second Covenant War?
I don't know. What did happen?
Maybe it was the third Covenant War. What about the fourth Covenant War?
Yeah, what about the Covenant Civil War?
Mm.
From there, you head to a highway tunnel, which leads to the next level, Metropolis. This is also the first level in which you will encounter jackals, jackal snipers, hunters, and phantom dropships, as well as...
That's bullshit, dude.
What?
We fucking fought him in Outskirts.
This is Outskirts. I'm talking about Outskirts.
I'm so sorry. I thought you skipped over Outskirts, so I was like, okay, we're done.
From now on, I'll make like a big motion when we're going to the next level.
How am I going to see the motion?
I'll just wave my arms repeatedly. And you'll just have to sense it.
You go beep. Where's the slideshow?
As well as the first Halo 2 level in which you can drive vehicles. So
yes.
And Outskirts also the level in Halo 2 that holds the record number of jackal snipers.
That's for damn sure. On Legendary, it's like fucking damn near impossible.
Okay, next level, Metropolis.
Beep. We're on the next level now.
We are on the next level.
Next level alarm. Next level alarm. Next level alarm. Next level alarm. Outskirts.
Oh, man. So let's see. Metropolis. Ah, yes. This is the one you get a tank. Oh, and warthogs.
This is the one with the legendary Scarab Gun.
Yes. Yes. You get in the Scarab. It's fantastic.
Now you find a hidden Scarab Gun. This is a thing that Bungie does now more often, where they're like, we have a developer gun hidden on the map. Find it.
Oh, you were talking about that. Yeah. How do you get that? Do you remember?
You have to lure a Banshee from the start into the tunnel, and you keep luring it until you hit a checkpoint, then you hijack it, and then you fly it up to a point where there's a parking cone with a fucking plasma rifle, and it shoots Scarab cannons. Cannon blasts. So it's just like giant explosions.
That's
like
amazing.
blum 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 blum, like unlimited ammo, all that stuff.
Wow, that's amazing.
There's a tank. There's a scorpion gun on Halo Infinite.
Really?
Yeah, it's literally invisible. Right as soon as you like leave the first area, you go like to like a orbital gun. Like you're on it's like a crashed pillar bottom type of ship, and you go to like a tip of like one of these guns that's visible on the side. So you just leave the elevator and it's like invisible on there and you pick it up. And if you don't drop it, you got fucking tank bullets for the rest of the game.
Wow. That's in the
Yeah.
campaign of Infinite?
Yeah. So it's like legendary easy mode type of shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's definitely check that out when we get there.
It's not multiplayer, just like a lot of other games.
Oh.
You know, they took split screen out of Halo 5.
What?
Can't sit on a couch. I think they also did it for Halo 4 as well.
That's sad.
Yeah, they're like, oh, when are you ever in a room with two people with controllers?
Yeah, who needs
know,
friends anyways, right? Right, guys?
Yeah, I'm like, the internet, like, always connected fucking gameplay. I'm like, guys, why are you squeezing my balls and vice? Stop. Slow down.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is a great level. It's a tank and it's a vehicles level. So, Metropolis is the 5th campaign level of Halo 2. It is the first level where you're able to drive a Scorpion tank, and the first level with Wraiths and Banshees.
It's got literally every vehicle in the game in this level, even ones that you can't drive.
Yeah.
That carrier.
Oh, the little
it's got,
Phantom thing.
Yeah, the ground Phantom.
Yeah.
The one that carried
or
ghosts.
Spectre.
For no reason.
It's called Spectre. Or wait.
Spectre is actually a thing you can drive in.
Oh, okay.
The Spectre was the Warthog. Remember? It was the Warthog, Covenant Warthog that flipped all the time.
Oh, yeah, it's like triangular looking.
Yeah, fucking top heavy like a Jeep.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So, Metropolis, John 117 and 2 Marines must battle across a long bridge guarded by Covenant forces in another but shorter tunnel then one at end of Outskirts. But shorter tunnel that the one at the end of Outskirts. After that, there's a small park where another Marine-controlled Warthog lurks, and an open urban area with Wraiths, before going into catwalks attached to buildings in order to attempt to board the Scarab and take out the Covenant piloting it. That was perhaps the most complicated paragraph I've ever seen in my life.
Like, kill the Scarab, got it.
Yeah, fight enemies. Okay.
we sure as hell did that.
Yeah.
If we had let the Scarab go, it was Johnson would have killed it anyway.
Really?
But he has Pelican rockets, so Johnson saves you at the end.
Wow.
Funny story. They added a bunch of Johnson lore, and they eventually added like Johnson was like one of the first Spartans, like the Spartan 1 program.
Johnson was the first Spartan?
He was in the program, and he was one of the first ones.
Well, how
like
old?
The first generation. I don't know. That just shows how young the Spartan program is.
Oh.
He's not like a fucking immortal being like Dracula or something, dude. Like,
dude, he kind of seems like he is.
10,000 years old.
He's a clone.
He's a clone of a myth.
Yeah, so that's good. Okay, so the next level. Next level time.
What level is it, Garrett?
The Arbiter. So this is the first level we play as the Arbiter, and I'm super psyched. I love playing as the Arbiter. You get plasma.
This was a mind fuck for like so many kids.
I bet.
They're like, why am I not Master Tweef? You know?
Yeah.
Talking with their lisp. Their stupid, dumb lisp.
Yeah, dumb kids.
They're like, where's my Breaking Benjamin Easter eggs? There's a Breaking Benjamin Easter egg, by the way.
Breaking Benjamin?
Yeah.
The band?
Yeah. I think they like recorded like some like free music, you know?
Oh.
And for doing that, they're like, hi, Ben, you know? And it's like the mythical last Easter egg of Halo 2, like,
that's funny.
Looking for Hi Ben, you know? Like, you know, like the fucking forums are like, there's one last Easter egg. The Bungie's employees are not telling us. They eventually had to let them know. You turn on some skulls and you do like some fucking grenade jumps over a long ass ledge, and it's just like written into the walls. There's a bunch of stuff written into like a lot of texture Easter eggs, dude. Like I should show you, you know, there's a lot of boring shit, you know, but straight up, a lot of fun shit. Like if you just like go around and explore some maps, there's like a bunch of stuff out of bounds. Like they made most of the maps where there's no invisible walls, which is like fucking genius of them, you know?
Really?
So like there's a lot of, they open up for exploration and they put shit out in the outside of the maps for people who like could make technical jumps like off of the Warthog or something, you know? So there was a lot of great times. Like I told you about the underbelly of fucking Halo 2 multiplayer. This is the seediest one where it's like we spend 12 hours crawling around the outside of a map looking for a message from the developers that wasn't there. Absolute degeneracy.
Oh man,
Oh yeah.
that's funny.
Just a little insight into the struggle of a Halo 2 player.
Well, so this level I particularly liked because we were fighting enemies that looked different. The heretics, they had like those weird things on their back, different skins,
Gas masks.
Yeah, they look different.
Backpack.
The grunts and the elites, super cool.
I think they all had jetpacks, or maybe they didn't use them indoors or something.
Yeah, they had these things on them for sure.
You're
So that was cool. And being an elite's cool because you can go invisible and you spawn with plasma grenades, and and that's my thing. I love being invisible. Very cool.
the boy loves his. I had to remind you to go invisible quite a number of times. So
Yeah, almost the whole time.
yeah, I was like, go invisible, you're about to die.
Oh, yeah.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Go invisible. That's probably the frequently asked fucking statements. I was like, please, sir,
Go invisible.
go invisible. I'm dead.
So, the Arbiter is the 6th campaign level of Halo 2, which introduces the Arbiter as a playable character for the first time. You must assassinate the heretic leader on a Forerunner gas mine in Threshold's atmosphere. So, with no
We
context,
learned a little something about the heretic.
yeah, with no context, you're like, okay, bad guy, kill him, done. But with context, like of the terminals, you have a totally different idea of what's happening here. The heretic is
fuck.
in the right. The heretic
By
is
the
totally right.
honestly, by the end of the fucking game, you realize like, oh, the prophets are wrong about practically everything they said. So like, you realize the heretic to the prophets was probably not a heretic to the prophets.
Yes, very true. Very true.
Like somebody who's against the prophets is actually probably for my type of guy. Like
Yeah,
it's my type of gay. Yeah,
for life. On the side of life, correct.
yeah. Choose to live.
So the mission involves neutralizing heretic forces. Along the way, the player will have to open hangar doors for reinforcements, fight the first time in Halo 2 Sentinels, and fly heretic banshees to escort friendly phantoms that is looking for where the heretic leader escaped to.
Yeah, we got tartar sauce. We didn't even mention we got Tartarus like flying around.
Oh yeah, tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce.
Yeah, he's there. We got an enemy, got an antagonist named Tartarus, who's a big white brute. I think he's white, right? Or was he not?
Yeah, white, gray, whatever.
Yeah. So he's like the bad guy, and he's super douchey, and you're like, okay, I just want to kill this guy.
Yeah, he's in charge of the brute military and basically in charge of the hostile takeover, promoting like brutes are way stronger than elites, which is he ain't lying, but it's all about power for him, and he's a loyal dog to the prophets.
Yeah. So, okay, next level time. So the next level is the Oracle. It's basically a continuation of the Arbiter, because that's a whole long sequence. So you're still playing as the Arbiter, and there's still Banshees involved. You're flying around. This is a great level as well. Still, I like being the Arbiter, like overall. But I like having Johnson there and having his quippy remarks and all that. I like that. So
Yeah,
I really like when you're the Arbiter with Johnson in Halo 3. It's like
that.
the pinnacle.
Yeah. Like, my God. They're like, and Mufasa, ladies and gentlemen, we're like the greatest voice actors combination. Let's get him. Let's get them all in here. The greats.
Is it?
No,
him?
It's not James Earl Jones.
Okay, I was like, what?
Like fucking Darth Vader comes in.
Chief.
I would not do that if I were you.
I am your
Like,
Arbiter.
Cream is spilling my pants from both directions. I don't. All the holes are excreting. Help! I'm drowning. Yeah.
So,
It's like, why are you drowning in your pants? Whatever.
So this is the first level in Halo 2 where you encounter the Flood and find some of their new abilities, most notably the ability of infection forms to revive fallen combat forms. So that was cool as
Yeah.
well. I think when we first saw it, there was a scripted event that it brought something back to life. I think it was a grunt. Like there was a dead grunt there, and then a little spore comes down and like turns it into one of the small flood, and you're like,
There
oh
was some
man.
some of that, I think I remember specifically having to wait around to find out that the grunt turned into the ball sack one, the exploding one.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. It turns into those.
I had to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait to see one like eat a grunt and be like, oh my god, that's what they are. Of course, look at the legs.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's like left over, like we're gonna need these legs.
Well, actually, the gas inside of it as well.
The methane exploding
Yeah.
fart bubble.
That's
It
why
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense when you figure it out. It's like, wow.
The lore, if you know the lore.
Yeah, they put some thought into it. It's not just random stuff.
Bullshit. It's being carried by the soundtrack. That's it.
It's all the Spinal Tap guys doing their best, going through drummers like they're going out of style.
Yeah.
New drummer every level.
How'd he die? Black guys. How many? No, black guys. Yeah, how many? No, black ice. Oh.
How did this one die? Freak gardening accident.
Yeah. Tragic freak gardening accident. My God. That's like based on like I think. Oh Christ. I don't want to guess, but I'm pretty sure either Black Sabbath or one of the other like major black metal bands like had like two dead guitarists or something. Maybe AC/DC or something, or maybe I don't know, man. Fuck. I think it's like every every band of the 80s like lost one fucking like drummer guitarist for like 10 years straight. I don't know. I don't know what the fucking deal is.
Oh, yeah. I don't know of anybody who died from a freak gardening accident.
Truth. Ain't lying. Well, anyway.
Okay, so next level, we got Delta Halo.
Ah, shit.
So you remember this one?
Where they like, yeah,
this
they come
one?
in, it's like, oh shit, here we go. Halo 2.
Yeah, so this one's great. The scenery is really good. You're back as Master Chief. You get vehicles. You're out in the open. You're on vehicles. And, like, this is a great level. Super enjoyable. I forget who
What happens
you're
on this level?
fighting. Well, we're going through, like, the ruins of a Halo. And who's on this Halo? Oh, the Covenant is on the Halo. That's right.
And we got sentinels and gondolas, right?
No, we're fighting elites.
This is when we slam in with the rockets.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna make some noise.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just fighting normal Covenant elites. So Delta Halo is the 8th campaign level of Halo 2 after dropping onto Halo in an HEV. John 117 fights his way through Covenant forces to reach the temple where the Prophet of Regret resides.
Here we go. And he's trying to pick up the codex to fire the Halo.
Yeah. So this is a good one. We're on a Halo. That's always cool. And it's relatively nice. Like there's lakes, waterfalls, trees. It's kind of nice. And they give you rockets. They give you so many rockets.
Absolutely.
That's always
very generous. Very generous of them to do that.
We also get a scorpion at some point. This was the one where we were trying to get the scorpion through all the ruins,
And we got him pretty fucking far.
We did get it too. That's right.
I was willing to die to get the scorpion all the way through the ruins.
Same.
And later on, they started adding like achievements for that kind of stuff, where they're like, "Come on, get it! Don't let the scorpion die. It's your best friend,
Yeah.
Your best friend Scorpio. Scorpio.
So okay.
Man, I need to go back and watch The Simpsons, like real bad.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Okay, it was before your time. You wouldn't understand even today.
It's on my to-watch list, but it's very daunting.
It's episodic, it's like a syndicated television show. You don't actually, I might have just completely confused you.
It's not episodic.
I mean, you can basically pick it up wherever.
Yeah.
It's like Seinfeld.
Yeah, I got you.
Or there's some events where you're like, huh? And then there's other events that poke fun at that, where you're like, oh, remember Marge? Kind of like Family Guy. Like, literally pokes fun at that, where it's like, remember Marge when we did the old thing down at the plant? Like, that never happened. Like, the thing that Family Guy makes fun of. Like, a cutaway that didn't happen.
Oh. Like, is Simpsons saying it ironically, or are they actually saying that that happened?
It's not ironic we're the first person to do it. The trend setting,
Oh, okay.
are
Oh,
the
okay.
ones who are making it. I think they eventually start doing cutaways at like season 4 and 5.
Oh,
So
okay.
like that's actually like a thing that the Simpsons kind of like did. That's why South Park made their little joke like Simpsons did it. Because it's real. It's had like probably the best writers like on TV writing nonstop for 20 years. Their workflow is fucking outrageous. So
Very cool.
yeah.
Okay, so next level, mission 7, Regret. This is the gondola level.
Yes.
So this level is probably the pinnacle of Halo 2, I'd have to say, because you play as the Elite, you play as the Arbiter, but you're with the Marines, and you're fighting Covenant, and I believe you're also fighting Brutes. Are we fighting Brutes at this point?
Um, Pretty sure we're fighting brutes. If we're fighting Covenant, then we're fighting brutes.
Well, there's a point where we're not fighting Brutes, where we're only fighting Elites and Grunts.
Well, that was on the heretic level.
Okay, yeah. So we got Jackals, Grunts, Brutes, Elites. We're just fighting everybody. There's hunters in this level. They give you the Spartan, or not the Spartan laser, the fuel rods. We're on gondolas. You get snipers. This level just pretty much has it all, I'd say. Like, you get a sword at some point,
It's got elevators. It's got gondolas. It's got waiting. It's got 30-second fight sequences.
It's got invisibility swords. This is probably my favorite level. The scenery is great. You're going from like inside a technology looking ruin, and then you go outside to like a stone villa looking situation, and then there's just a lot happening in this level. It looks good. Yep, I like this level a lot. So
Regret, right?
yeah. So Regret is the 9th campaign level of Halo 2, starting from the end of the previous level, Delta Halo. The player travels on floating gondolas and in underwater elevators through various temple corridors to reach the room of the holding prophet of regret. Oh
yes, various underwater temple corridors, dude. That is literally the best way to describe this level, dude. You're like underwater fucking scenery chewing. You got the 30-second cooldown, so you're like able to scratch your balls, take a sip of Mountain Dew. You got the breathing period. You're like, thank goodness,
Yes.
And then you got the corridor fighting.
Yeah.
Love it.
Great.
Rinse, repeat, repeat. Keep doing it. Boom, 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 boom. Cortana's talking over everything, dripping dialogue in the elevators.
Yeah.
It's great.
I like the underwater elevator parts. BioShock. Love it.
Yeah, you wonder where BioShock got the idea. They're like, oh! No, obviously, Halo didn't invent that, but still.
Yeah, I probably
could say it was inspiring. It is inspiring by all means.
Yeah.
But you get to see like the hate. I'll let you continue. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm about to move on. Unless you want to say anything else about regret.
Well, you get to see like the flood. Christ Almighty! I was about to say the flood fleet, the Covenant fleet, come in like basically en masse, like right at the end, like all of them. They're like, you see one come in, like Chief's like, oh shit, and then like basically it's like the whole sky fills up with ships.
Yeah.
So we get some scale setting, and I don't know. I don't see the Arbiter in this level. So you lying to me, man?
Regret?
Yeah.
You're playing as the Arbiter.
It looks like Chief to me.
Oh, am I confused? How do you tell, I wonder?
The hands.
Oh.
The purple fucking HUD.
Yeah, I guess you're correct.
Are you watching the long play?
I'm watching the walkthrough. Yeah. You are, yeah. We're playing as Master Chief for Regret, but he was holding a Covenant weapon, so I thought it was the Elite.
So what about that memory of stealth you had?
I was saying that about the other level.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see how it is.
So the next level is Sacred Icon. And this one you are for sure the Elite. Wait.
He thinks you're the Elite in this one.
Yes. You're definitely the Elite unless Master Chief can go invisible. This one was pretty good. I think this is when the game started getting very hard for me. And I was like, ugh. Because in this one you're fighting Sentinels. And I don't like fighting Sentinels. Especially when you're fighting them with the Flood. Because you have to look up and down. along with left and right, you know. So it's just another axis to have to fight enemies on. It gets really hard. And then on top of that, shotguns are bad for sentinels, but shotguns are good for flood. And then vice versa, whatever gun's good for sentinels is bad for the flood.
Yeah, I think sentinels are weak against plasma and they're garbage. So yeah, you're constantly like dropping your weapons, flopping them around, like considering what the hell's going on.
Yeah. So this one's legit tough. This is when it started getting too hard for me. Like, I'm like,
We
okay,
got
it's too hard.
elevators. This is the quintessential 30-second game loop on fucking display right here. You're like in the elevator. It goes down one section. You wait like 5 seconds, then you get like flooded by tons of flood.
Yes.
Then,
Yes.
boom. Finish them up. You got 30 seconds to go around, look for more weapons, reload your shit, look for grenades, like scratch your nuts, and then more flood. You know?
Yeah.
Like 30-second gameplay loop on repeat, up and down elevators, across gondolas. Like you're like, oh, the sentinels are on side. Great. Oh shit, the sentinels are against us. Boom. It's like literally like an ebb and flow of like emotions, like the entire level.
Yeah. This one is hard. There's no underwater elevators that you can look around and sit for a moment. It's literally do or die. And you have little breathers just to like get weapons and keep going. You know, this one was tough. So, Sacred Icon is the 10th campaign level of Halo 2. As the Arbiter, you make your way through a wall filled with sentinels and the Flood, ending in a open-air elite encampment. You must defend it successfully from the Flood onslaught before the next level quarantine zone starts. Okay, so, yeah, tough level.
Sacred Icon?
Yeah, Sacred Icon.
Yeah, you get Prophet's basically getting the key to the big gun, and the Arbiter's making us full betrayal here.
Yes, he is straight up killing Covenant forces.
Wait, is he? No, he isn't at this point. So you got us all confused with fucking regret. The level regret.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm the Arbiter fighting Elite. No, he's still fighting with the Covenant by Sacred Icon.
Oh, okay. So regret, you're Master Chief fighting the Covenant. Sacred Icon, you're the Covenant, or you're the Arbiter fighting the Flood and the Sentinels. And the Sentinels is an extension of Guilty Spark, which is an extension of the Forerunners that the Prophets are trying to cover up. That's right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry.
Well, the Prophets literally don't know what the hell they're doing. The Prophets are being fooled with. They're literally blind fools. They're blind idiot fools, you know?
Yeah.
That don't know where the hell they're going. They're just like, I think, therefore I am. And that's what I'm going to do. Like, oh, okay, motherfucker. Like, I don't think.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. But yeah, you got Sentinels basically being like the primary antagonists of the entire shtick. And then you get a Flood invasion right at the end. So just right when you get sick of fucking fighting Sentinels and Sentinel beams and all this stuff, and you now ran out of fully decked out with Sentinel killing weapons from head to toe, then they introduce you with the Flood. And then you're like, oh, I gotta drop all my weapons right now. You know, that's the thing, dude. They're just like, are you sitting in the middle about weapons? Tough shit. Like, I remember holding on to like a pistol all the way through Halo 1. And now I'm like, I'm never going to drop this, even if there's no ammo for 10 levels. You know, like I'm holding on to this if I have to hit people with the butt of it. But Halo 2 changes that, especially on higher difficulties where you're like, plasma pistol. It's like the strongest fucking gun in the game. I tried to tell you a bunch of times, but dude, take down shields, man.
The 1-2, yeah.
The Garrett combo, if you would. The old Garrett 1-2 combo.
So if you thought Sacred Icon was hard, the next level, Quarantine Zone, is even harder. This is the level where it's mostly a vehicle level, and you're fighting Sentinels and you're fighting the Flood.
You always say that because we died like 300 times trying to get to a tank.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck this game.
This game sucks. This level was the hardest level now that I remember it. This level was way harder. Like, it's essentially the same thing. You're still the elite. The Arbiter, you're still fighting Sentinels in the Flood, except you're trying to get out of town, basically. And it's the same thing, but harder, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot more Flood. The Flood are driving vehicles. The Flood are getting way smarter. You're like, oh, have we even talked about the Grave Mine yet?
No, the
Does
Grave
the
Mine
Grave
hasn't
Mine
come
become?
in yet.
You're like, why is the Flood so damn fucking smart? You know, like
Yeah.
the Flood was like zombies in Halo 1, and then they started doing like slightly smarter stuff towards the end, you know, but now they're really getting it. They're really getting it good.
Yeah.
They're killing the fuck out of us. They're like wiping out the Covenant. So yeah, you can tell something. It's the Flood are escalating to like a serious problem. It like kind of boils over to like critical mass on this level.
Yeah. This level's hard. Just all around.
Some hair on your nuts.
All right. So, next level is Grave Mine. This level's probably the coolest level. The beginning of this one is the cutscene where you're being held up by Grave Mine, you and the Elite. And then
Yeah.
Master Chief's like, all right, Arbiter, we got to work together, get out of this situation. And the Arbiter's like, never, you know.
No, it's all, and that's a 3-way fucking situation, dude.
What do you mean?
The fucking Grave Mind is sitting there like, y'all two gotta join me. I'm gonna help you.
Oh, right. Because the Covenant is trying to activate the Halo ring. But then it's
He's
beneficial.
like, guys, you know, they're about to shoot the Halo. And then like, Chief's like, but Cortana didn't tell me that. You know? Like, but what? Chief is like simultaneously the most badass and like the most gullible.
The dumbest.
Still, I full-heartedly believe that to this day.
Yeah, definitely.
Cortana didn't tell me that.
Right. So Gravemind kind of explains the situation and basically says, hey,
guys,
it's beneficial
we need
for all of us.
We need to stop them now. Like, this is basically like Chief and the Gravemind being like, yo, Arbiter, stop your homeboy. Stop your dad from blowing up the galaxy. Do you mind? So, yeah. It's turncoating the Arbiter right now.
Man. Okay, so Gravemind is the 12th campaign level of Halo 2. The level takes place within High Charity after the Gravemind teleports John 117 there. Whoa, Gravemind teleports him there?
Like I said, they're working together. You thought I made that shit up, did you?
Well, how does Gravemind teleport Master Chief?
He's got fucking Forerunner technology under his belt.
Oh. He's
a Gravemind, dog. He's smart. Probably way smarter than the Prophets at this point. He can actually use the technology. I think he has the Sentinel, right? Mm. Since you're watching the cutscene just then, you saw that the Gravemind had the Sentinel from the Halo. Not Guilty Spark. Every Halo has a Sentinel, and Guilty Spark is not Delta Halo's Sentinel.
Oh, okay.
So
the other Sentinel, yeah.
So the Flood owned Delta Halo, right? Enough that there has been a Gravemind living on Delta Halo. And
I didn't realize that. I suppose so. Huh.
The Flood didn't get tracked in on fucking Master Chief's foot.
So the Flood's been on Delta Halo this whole time.
Delta Halo was a Flood quarantine facility. We played this game, you didn't realize what the hell is going on?
Wait, Delta Halo is a Flood quarantine facility?
Well, that's why it's got so much shit, dude. Like, each Halo obviously has a little bit of Flood on it for some god-awful reason, but this one had, like, a giant dome.
Gravemind.
Remember, we went into a giant dome, Doug?
Yeah, I remember the dome.
Like, after the 1,001 gondolas, the gondola adventure?
Yeah, I remember gondolas, like gondolas.
And then we went into the dome. The dome was the fucking quarantine zone. And inside the dome, I think the Gravemind was outside the dome, funny enough, right?
I don't know. They didn't really show like where he was exactly. It was just like a black room.
He was like underneath it. He was like it's a Forerunner room, probably like where the key is like supposed to be held. You know, like in Halo 1 where they turn the key.
Yeah.
In the map where we killed Guilty Spark, it's probably that room, like hollowed out.
Oh, the big chamber. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
So it's a similar structure, slightly different, you know. So yeah, it kind of was like a Flood facility, you know?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to realize that because they don't tell you. It's kind of like implied consequences to the shit, you know?
Yeah.
There's lore there. You just kind of gotta like stop shooting and be like, what the fuck? Where am I? What am I doing? What is this gondola here? Why are there sentinels here? Oh, they're here to fucking shoot anything that leaves the dome, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so the Prophet of Truth has the index, and you must Get to him before he leaves for the control room of Delta Halo. As you travel through High Charity, you'll experience the beginning of the Covenant Civil War. Strangely enough, apart from the opening and ending cutscenes, there is no contact with the Gravemind or the Flood. Also, the word Gravemind is not mentioned until 2 levels later in High Charity. Huh, okay. So I guess he didn't have a name.
Who mentions it? Who mentions it?
Oh, I don't know yet. We're not there. Probably Cortana.
Well, we're not going to find out, I bet.
Probably Cortana. She's the only one who knows what's going on.
Sure, right. She's like, I'm basically in charge of this whole war. I'm the one who's moving all the... She's the puppet
Chief,
master.
Kill. Master Chief. That way. Kill.
Oh my god. Okay, I got a side note. I was watching this is a show called Space Force. Funny.
Okay.
Funny show. Anyway, they're doing like a test thing for like exosuits or whatever. And they're like, if you're fighting on the moon and you get like a small prick in your spacesuit, you're done. You're dead. Basically decompressed. Your eyeballs are going to gouge out. You're done. So we have the exosuit. It's basically going to walk your corpse home, you know, like a little meat puppet. You know, we're going to be able to retrieve your body and make a profit off of it, you know, like retrieve the gear, you know? So like, it showed every time they like in the training simulation, they got like zapped or whatever, and they like got like meat puppeted off. I was like, that's probably Chief, honestly. He's like, I'm doing it, guys. Like, we're the ones, like, we're actually Cortana with the controller. It's like, Chief, good job out there. He's like, yes, you know, like, like chemically alive. Like,
Thank you.
know, thank you. Beep. His like eyes are just like gouged out like flies, maggots, you know, like
it's just a dead body in there.
Like it's being like meat puppeting like Cortana. He's like, Chief, how did you land? There's like several times, I swear to God, I shit you not, Chief falls from like atmosphere and like falls and hits the ground and they're like, oh my fucking God, Chief, how did you survive that? And he's like, I'm fine. The shield's held, you know, like every bone is broken in that man's body. He's like inside the suit, like you just heard like the suit's like, I'm fine. Like, the voice modulators, like Cortana's just like fucking like, all I need is a fucking barcode in the suit to fucking pull the trigger. That's it. That's all you're here for. All you are is fucking your fingerprint on the trigger of the gun. All right. UNSC bullets do not fire unless there's fingerprints.
Man, I think you're being pretty generous. It's more likely that Master Chief is not even a person, just a robot being controlled by Cortana the whole time.
He's a meat sack for sure. He's like probably like 10 IQ, like fucking meat man. He's like, he doesn't ever do like, I don't see critical thinking. Like we never hear it.
No, we know for a fact that it doesn't happen. We remember from Halo 1 where he's about to stick the what is it, the key thing into the thing to activate the Halo just because someone told him to.
It's like, oh yeah.
Guilty Spark was like, put it in, turn the key.
Do it.
And Cortana's like, hold up. What am I missing?
That's going to wipe out half the galaxy. And then he's like still like blinking, like he can bink, 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 you know, he's like, his eyes like blink, like, blink, blink.
No, this guy's cool.
You know, put the gun down. You know, like when the baby picks up the revolver in the bedroom. You know, Chief, put down the fucking murder cannon. Key, blink, blink, please. You know what? I didn't want to see it anyway. That's just ew. You were holding that, Chief, and he's like, I didn't want it anyway. Like. To like psychologically like trick Chief into not blowing up the galaxy.
Yeah. I can't believe you're touching that. Ew.
You know, that's somebody farted on that.
I'm telling you,
that's
Johnson.
where mommy puts her special thing near there. You know,
the thing has cooties.
Yeah. That's Cortana's foot massager. Get that out of your mouth, Chief. No.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Get that out of your mouth. Get that out of your pants.
So yeah, we know that Master Chief has no clue what's going on. He just follows instructions, and that's it.
He's like, Gravemind, good now. So yeah, Blood, good for 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I'll trust like, Blood. For now.
He's like, this grave mind's saying words I don't understand. He's not trying to kill me, so he must be good. Hmm. And then the elite comes in and he's like, this guy's different than normal people. This
Yeah,
guy
he's
must
like, you
be
realize I've
bad.
been killing these guys for 2 levels now, right?
All right, so
So
next
like,
level.
yeah.
Next level is Uprising. So this one's just a normal level. Keeps running.
It's a normal level. Civil War going on. No, nothing to look at.
Yeah, well, this is the first level of full on. Arbiter is killing Covenant and brutes, grunts, jackals. Kind of sad.
Are you sure this isn't Master Chief again? Would you like to review the footage one more time?
No, the player plays as the elite. Yeah. So Uprising is the 13th campaign level of Halo 2. As Thel Vadam, the player must battle their way through Viral Hane. And a few.
Where's that at?
It's in space.
Where's that at?
Out there. Up.
It's not on Halo?
Oh, I don't know.
Because it looks like it's on Halo to me.
Is it on a Halo?
Well, we just were on the Halo 5 seconds ago. And the Grave Mind teleported us, right?
Yeah, but he could have teleported us.
Oh, he teleported Master Chief one way and Grave Mind the other, or Arbiter the other way?
I don't know.
I need you to split up. You kill one prophet for me, and I'll Chief, you kill the other.
Oh, they did split them up, remember? Because Master Chief had to... One person has to get to the prophet, and the other one has to...
Stop the fucking
something.
explosion. I don't know, man. What is it? What is it, Garrett? What are they doing? You remember playing the game. What do they do?
Well, they must battle their way through a place to reach a rendezvous with Rataz Vadam.
Who's that?
I don't know.
He's the other elite guy?
Not
Who's
sure.
he?
Well, let's research it.
Let's learn it and not just burn through it.
Rataz Vadam is an elite that wears white armor. And that's it. No.
We got him.
Special Operatives Commander of the Covenant Army.
Oh, okay. Just like that. So he's the guy who got pushed out by a brute. So he's scorned.
So, okay, so all the elites are being turned against the brutes.
So this is the other half of the Civil War.
Yeah, okay, so that's what's happening here.
We're witnessing a civil war from 2 fronts. Wobby!
Okay, so you're basically teaming up with the elites now, and you're fighting brutes. And it's pretty much it. The elites are getting out of the Covenant.
Just like that?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Or they're getting kicked out by the brutes.
No, they got kicked out.
By the prophets.
Yeah, they got kicked out, and they're not going out without a fight.
Hell yeah, dude. I can yeah, kill me. No, not today, Junior. Not to Dizzle.
Oh, yeah, this is the level where one of those prophets gets attacked by a flood and they just leave him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, remember that?
I do recall. He's like, later, boy.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Like, leave him.
Got him. It's funny. I love it.
So that's pretty good.
Couldn't happen to a better guy, I guess.
Okay, next level is High Charity. So, High Charity is the 14th campaign level of Halo 2. Is John 117. You must battle your way through the flood-infested High Charity to stop the Prophet of Truth. This is the last level you get to play as John 117 in Halo 2.
No!
Cool. So, this one is one of the dark flood levels, so it's hard.
You're like, I can't see a fucking damn thing.
But I like you're fighting against the brutes and the flood. Yeah, and it's like a dark... area. I think this is the first level where you get brute shots too.
Is it?
Well, it may not be the first one, but they definitely give you a bunch of brute shots.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we got brute shots for a minute. There's a lot of like fighting brutes inside of ships and stuff. It was pretty intense, man.
Yeah. So that was a good level. I remember that one took us a long time.
Oh yeah.
Like the last half of this game is a lot harder than the first half.
There's definitely ramping. It's escalated quite high at the end.
Okay, and then we got the final level of Halo 2 called The Great Journey, Mission 13. So, The Great Journey is the 15th and final level of Halo 2. You play as the Elite, and to reach Tartarus, you stop him from activating the rings. You will work alongside a Scarab tank being controlled by Johnson.
Yeah.
In order to break the door of Delta Halo's control room where Tartarus is located. Then you must bring down the chieftain Tartarus. So the ending of this game is amazing,
Yeah, it was
hands down.
great.
One of the best endings. One of the funnest endings because you're fighting with Johnson. He's sassy. It's awesome. You got a boss battle at the end. You know, you're fighting. You're playing as the elite. He's fun to play as. Just great.
Yeah.
But I remember this one's hard. This one is very hard as well.
Remember, this was the Ghost of Kiev.
Yes, where you get in the ghosts, and I had to hide just so you could respawn over and over.
Oh, the Banshees.
Yeah. Or yeah, you get in the Banshee, yeah.
It was pretty intense battle in the Banshees where we're defending a Scarab. Pretty sure that's this level, right?
Yeah, you defend the Scarab that Johnson's driving. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnson is being the ultimate badass, you know. You're like, that's our boy, Johnson.
Yeah, this one's great. You have to snipe a bunch of jackals, you know. There's everything. Everything is in this level. Multiple different vehicles to get on.
Yeah.
For the most part, you're fighting brutes.
Oh yeah, it's a full brute like throwdown.
And this is essentially the conclusion and the definitive moment when the Covenant split. The elites split from the Covenant and joined up with humans.
Yeah. Well, then we fight tartar sauce at the end.
Yeah. You fight tartar sauce, and I think he had the gravity hammer, didn't he?
Yes.
So that's fun. That's the first run with a gravity hammer.
Titular gravity hammer is overpowered.
Yeah.
So very strong.
Yep, and that was Halo 2. So, you know, there's just so much of this game. Like, just a lot of attention to detail, I'd say. A lot of little fun mechanics. A lot of different enemies that act differently. You know, like you got Berserker mode for the brutes. You know, so like you shoot them, you essentially get their shields down, and then they drop their weapons, and then they just start running after you and jumping on you and stuff. And that's great.
Yeah, they go mad monkey mode.
Yeah, and then, you know, you got the jackals that are very versatile. They could be snipers or close up. They have shields. And then, you know, the grunts still have the grunt stuff. It's just super funny, and they're unpredictable. They could just stand there, or they could be shooting you, you know.
Or they go, if you kill the elite that's in charge of them, they run away. And then if they lose all hope, they come in. Or if I think the elite orders them to come in and kamikaze attack.
Oh, yeah, kamikaze attacks. Yeah.
So, is that. So is that.
Yeah. So this is a great game.
Would you rate it?
Very great game. Yeah, like super fun. Would play again. I'd like to play it again in new graphics and see what that's like, because I played this one in old graphics.
And I appreciate your sacrifice, sir.
No, I mean, old graphics still has its charm. Like, you know, it's totally different than the new graphics.
Absolutely. It held up. You know, it didn't quite hold up to like Half-Life 2, but it was on the Xbox. You know, it was kind of far behind, you know, Crisis and PC games and stuff like that. But this was groundbreaking for a console. You know, it's like, think about N64 to this. You know, you're like, oh my god, leaps and bounds. This is a whole new world. You know, online multiplayer on the Xbox, practically using dial-up. You know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, people were using dial-up and shit. You know, you got all sorts of crazy mechanics that kind of get borrowed, and you know, it made a great game. It made a great game.
Oh man,
it was a great game.
Yeah,
10 out of 10. We'll play again. Of course, it's classic. Do recommend.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, you got anything else to say about Halo 2?
No.
All right. Well, this has been Learn the Burner. I'm Garrett.
And this is Neville.
And we'll see you later. Bye.
Peace.